All right, guys, so let's talk about what to charge your clients, right? What are you going to charge, to run Facebook ads for a dentist? Or what are you going to charge to run Facebook ads for a chiropractor or, a personal trainer or whatever the actual local business that you decide to target is? And so the best two ways to charge what your client, or excuse me, to know what to charge your clients is you can do the approach where, you call other local marketing agents or local marketing companies in your kind of region and pretend to be a client, right? Say you own a local business and ask what they charge to actually, facilitate Facebook ads per month for you, what their setup fees are, and things like that. That's kind of a way to know kind of what your competition is charging in your local market, right? Because obviously, marketers for local businesses and Facebook ad agencies in San Francisco are going to charge significantly more than, people who are going to be charging, to run Facebook ads in Cleveland, Ohio, for example. No offense to Cleveland, Ohio. So, you can do it that way. That's one way. That's kind of how I initially did it because I wanted to know what other people were charging just to kind of get an idea of, what kind of the going rates were. So I wasn't charging anything outrageous, but also I wasn't, charging anything that was too little relative to the kind of value that I was adding. And so what I normally do, guys, is I charge in two ways, right? So you can do it that way, or you can kind of just listen to what I'm saying and charge kind of how I'm going to explain right now. Obviously, guys, these are changeable. These are not set in stone. And as you start to get more clients, supply and demand, right? If you have 10 clients and it's occupying, 20 hours a week, and that's how much you want to work, then every additional client, you're going to charge more, right? Because you have enough. Once you have enough to live, start to charge more per month, your monthly retainer, or more as a setup fee, because your time is now more valuable. Once you have more clients, raise your price. Generally what I do, guys, is every additional 5 clients I get, I double my price. And that's just me personally now. When I was first starting, I was so happy to get 10 clients, right? $1,000 a month times 10 clients was $10,000 a month, which at the time was, absolutely fantastic and unbelievable. And I couldn't believe that I was making $10,000 a month. And obviously, things have changed a little bit since then. And so now I charge, significantly more than that to run Facebook ads for people. But you have to kind of scale as you go. Don't, start out charging $10,000 per month per client. Obviously, we're going to start out a little bit lower just to kind of get the wheels turning and to get kind of that consistent monthly income coming in. Because like I always say, guys, the first client is by far the hardest part of this entire process. And so just no matter what, stick with it. Make sure, grind. If you have to call 50 businesses a day to get your first client, if you have to call 50 businesses a day, every day for 30 straight days, once you get that first client, your whole life is going to change. I promise you guys that. Okay, guys, so let's talk about exactly how I like to do this. So if you've never had a client before in your life, right, generally how I propose this, and we'll talk about, an exact proposal that I actually use and present to clients. We will have that linked. But, how I generally propose this is 2 ways. There is a setup fee, and the setup fee, as you guys know, includes doing market research, how you're going to actually target people. You're going to have to actually build out, a funnel for them, which we're going to talk about in a second, later on in this module, how to build out a funnel for them, right? You're going to have to get things set up with either running ads from their business manager or from your own business manager and being reimbursed for ads, right? So there's kind of some setup fees, and $497 is kind of like the bare minimum that I like to charge, but these are going to be the lowest prices you guys will ever charge, right? Because like I said, the hardest part is getting your first client. And so you want to really charge very, very little just to get your first client. And I know this might seem like a lot, and it might seem like a lot to businesses, but this is actually very, very little. Trust me. So $497 has a setup fee, right? And I always say when I'm talking to new clients, I always say that I don't normally do this, but I'm willing to waive this fee, just because you're a new client, and it feels like an amazing value for them, right? Because when it's included in the proposal, and you can literally like cross it out in the proposal and say like included, willing to waive, our initial setup fee if you do want to, bring our firm on, or our digital marketing company on, just to prove to you guys, how much value that we are going to add to you. We're willing to waive that $500 fee, if you sign up in the next like day or 24 hours or whatever it is, right? Just to kind of establish some scarcity here. So I generally kind of propose the setup fee, or I mention the setup fee. I include it in the proposal, but if it is my first client, I'm always willing to waive that, because again, we're just trying to kind of prove this concept to ourselves. Every decision we make is all about getting that first client, because once you get the first client, guys, everything changes, seriously. So $497 as a setup fee, but I'm willing to waive it for you guys. One-time offer, if you decide to work with us in the next, if you decide to kind of come on and let us run your Facebook ads in the next 24 hours. And then we actually kind of move on into the $9.97 per month monthly retainer. So normally we charge that at the beginning of the month, kind of before any work's been rendered. But if we're actually signing up our very first customer, it's totally okay for us to charge that at the end of the month. So basically, guys, we're trying to eliminate all reasons that they could possibly say no, all frictions of the transaction. So we'll say, normally we charge it at the beginning of the month, but since, we're just starting our relationship, we really want to show you absolutely that we're going to add just like an incredible amount of value to you guys. And so we're willing to charge you, not until the end of the month, for this first month only. And then, moving forward, we will charge that fee once a month. Once we've proven to you, right, everything should be in the context of once we've proven to you how much value that we're going to actually add to you guys, right? So normally we charge that $9.97 at the beginning of the month, but for this first month only, we're willing to charge you, not until the end of the month, just so we can show you how much value that we're truly going to give you. And even though they're paying at the first of the month or like the last of the month, right, it just feels much more free if they don't get charged before they've seen any real value, right? So even though they're paying $1,000 either way, it feels much more valuable for them for that first month not to actually pay it until the end of the month. So after that first month, guys, then I really start to systematize things. Once I've proven value, once I've actually created a relationship, then I'll send them, be like, hey, it's time for you to set up your own business manager, and you can run ads paying for them with your own card. I'll just manage the account completely for you, completely hands off, and I'll even walk you through how to set up your business manager, right? And here's a link to an invoice where you're going to be automatically charged on the first of every month via PayPal or via Stripe, and it's very easy to set up those automatic payment profiles. So let's talk about how to actually close new clients who approach you, right? And so one of the things that's most important, again, like I've said a million times, and I keep repeating myself, and I'm sorry, but it's so important. The hardest part is getting your first client. Once you've gotten your first client, this whole business model becomes so much easier, right? And so, but once you've gotten your first client, you're gonna be surprised at how many people are going to refer you new business, especially once you start making them money from this magical seeming Facebook advertising magician, right? You're bringing new customers out of thin air that they didn't otherwise have, and they're gonna want to tell their friends about it, especially if you're incentivizing them to do so, being like, hey, every referral that you bring, if you know any other dentists or doctors or people from med school or your family members or anyone who runs a small business, every referral that you give me gets you $500 off, right? Every referral that ends up paying gets you $500 off, and they're gonna refer people like crazy because they want to save money. Referrals are incredibly easy to close, guys, because all you have to do, they're going to be like, hey, we run a doctor. We got introduced by Jim the dentist, who you're running ads for. He said, you're awesome. Do you have time to set up a call? You say, yep. And all you have to do, guys, is ask them two questions, right? All you have to say is why me and why now? And let them sell you themselves, right? They'll say, well, I heard about you from Jim the dentist. He said you're amazing. Like you made him, $1,500 profit in the first month. You didn't charge him a cent, right? Like all of these things. And you're just like an amazing Facebook ads agency. And I think you guys could really change our business, right? And so you didn't say a word here other than why me. And he just told you why you're the best option for him. Right? And why now? Why now tells you what they need. They say, well, our business is struggling. We've been spending money on newspaper ads, or we've been spending money on radio ads, or whatever the case may be. And it's just not really giving us, the kind of the return that we want. We've heard about Facebook marketing. We've heard about the power of it, but we just don't understand it. We don't want to go out and learn all of that. We want to focus on our business, right? So now all of a sudden, why you, right? And he's already sold you as to why you're the best option, and why now he's told you exactly what he needs. So you have all the information you need to close. And so these conversations are going to kind of, play out very similarly, but you'll get better and better at them. But you go be comfortable to wait and let them answer, right? They came to you. Remember, there's no easier person to sell someone on your worth than a referral, because referrals get, they have the strongest type of social proof, which is their friends or family kind of saying how awesome you are. It's so much easier to sell, guys. All you need to do is why me and why now. So that is what to charge, guys. Remember, for a very first client, I'll waive the setup fee, and then I'll do the $9.97 per month retainer. Normally, we charge them at the first of the month, but for the very first month, we're willing to charge you at the end of the month after we've proven all of our value. If they still say no, guys, I'll literally send them this picture. I'm not above that at all, and this is a hilarious picture, and people really understand that if they say you're too expensive, right? Is it worth paying $1,000 a month if you're making $5,000 a month back from that, right? That's a very, very easy question to answer if you have any type of mathematical skills, right? And then remember, the ninja hack. If it said, $9.97 is too expensive, they're just kind of scared, they've never heard about Facebook ads, they just don't understand how it works, then say for the very first month, I'm not going to charge you 1 cent, I'm only going to charge you 50% of the profit that I make you, right? That is one of the best ways to close clients who'd otherwise say no, guys. Because remember, no is not no. It's just not right now. And then you can, use your negotiating tactics, and you'll get better and better at this, guys. I know it's awkward at first, but it's a really beautiful process. Getting better at business and getting better at negotiating. And then remember, how to close new clients who come to you as referrals. All you have to do, why me? Why now, guys? And then let them sell you themselves. And so I hope that was helpful, guys. What to charge, what to do with referrals, and a couple ninja hacks to make sure that you sign a ton of new business. So I hope that will help, guys, and let's get to the next.